All right, listen up. You're Hebrew Israelites. Come out here every week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked place called America, and to bring these people on the side back to the true nationality. Bring you Negroes, to Latinos, Native American Indians, you're the children, or you're the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks about. And it's our job to come out here and to warn you people about the coming destruction, all right? The imminent destruction, all right? You've been hearing all about all these cases popping up all over the world, all right? Well, it's prophecy that's being fulfilled. The Most High made an oath and he swore by his own name that he was going to return and recompense all you people for all the wickedness that y'all put out. And like we always say, it's a repetitive thing. We got to continue to rebuke this place until there's no man left in here. All right, but until then, we're gonna keep bringing out the truth. All right. Do you have any specific?
This is 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 37 or 35. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack.
Right, and real quick, that whole the Ebola virus, that's a plague. All right, and that's a real deadly plague. It was like one of the most deadliest plagues ever in history. All right, but like that's just an example that the plagues are drawing nigh. Now it's to the point where it hit America. All right, it started over there in Africa, some parts of Europe. Back then, though, in Europe, but it's finally gotten to America. This land that all y'all people believe to be paradise and untouchable. All right.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God.
Right, because and like I just said a minute ago, because y'all people think that the Most High doesn't know what he's doing, or y'all don't think that what he's coming to do is right either. But it said, but like in the very beginning of Esdras, he said, hear now this word. The Most High spake, and he always said, man, that his words were they were true, and they would always come to pass. But y'all people, y'all want to not listen to the words, like it said in Psalms, all throughout the word. It says that y'all always rebel. Y'all are backsliders. All right, y'all don't believe in the Most High. Like when y'all came out of Egypt, y'all automatically started murmuring against the Most High. Sorry.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to get 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to us word, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
Right, and to say this real quick, the Most High knows what he's doing. All right, the Most High knows exactly. The Almighty Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, they know what they're doing. The God who y'all call Jesus in the Bible, they know what they're doing, man. I'm just saying it because y'all people constantly y'all try to diss, like the scriptures say, y'all want to disannul the scriptures. Y'all want to frustrate prophecy.
Y'all want to cover up y'all want to cover up and make up excuses and different excuses for these plagues, these so-called plagues that y'all would call so-called plagues. Y'all want to blame it on Mother Nature, or on the global warming. Okay, the Most High say the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, and part of his promise was that he promised to the elect that he was going to send plagues upon our enemies to afflict and torment them, to devour them. All right. Also, the elect, the 2/3, y'all are part of that number. Hold on, don't jump off too quick, because that's why I'm bringing out these scriptures real quick. All right. So going back to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 59. Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance.
Right, and there was a man on the comment board who made a comment. He said, man, every day I hear of someone being sick. Every day someone's always sick, man. This whole world is engulfed with nothing but plagues, diseases, and sicknesses. And y'all, and like the brother said, y'all want to blame it on everything else, but maybe what the inhabitants are doing.
Not to blame, but y'all forget what the scriptures always spoke about. That's why the Most High has ordained certain men to go into the highways and the byways to bring it back to remembrance. Like the scriptures say, be not deceived, the Lord is not mocked. For what a man sowed, that shall he reap. So y'all people are reaping exactly what y'all sowed, man. It's a continuous pattern. And y'all people still, people say that the greatest lesson, the greatest way to be taught is repetition. Y'all people still haven't learned from y'all's mistakes. Y'all keep falling in the same trap. But this trap is a trap that you ain't gonna come back living your life in wickedness again. This is gonna be the judgment, the great judgment once and for all. Okay? And after that, you're gonna come back right. But until then, we're gonna bring it back to remembrance. That's why in Deuteronomy chapter 28 is a very prophetic and foreseen scripture to identify who these scriptures fall upon. These curses, to identify who people are and who is not the Israelites. All right? And to know that these plagues are coming again. Get that one in Revelation chapter 22 at the end, saying that all these plagues shall fall upon thee if you take away or add unto my word.
It says, Revelation chapter 22, verse 18. For I testify unto every man.
And that's our job. We testify. We're a witness to the gospel. All right? And we don't care if who you think should and shouldn't be doing this. The Most High has made these moves. Go ahead.
For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, the Most High shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book.
The plagues that are written in this book. But if you read Deuteronomy 28, he said he's even going to bring plagues that you ain't even heard of. Newfound plagues. All right?
And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, the Most High shall take away his part out of the book of life.
Right, that's why 2/3 of you Negro Latinos have no part at this table. Lord willing, we do. Until then, that's why the Lord still has us coming out to bear witness to you people of the coming destruction and the truth.
It said that the Most High shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book.
Right, the promises, like you're going to be crowned by Yahweh Shai himself and given a palm in your hand as a sign of victory, peace. Y'all people are going to get the reward of destruction. That's why these plagues are all over the compass of the earth. There's nowhere in the corner, in the little crevice of the earth where you can find happiness and joy. Everywhere you go is corrupted. Everywhere you look, there's a spider dangling right above you that could potentially be your death. There's a statistic. I don't know if I'm using the right word, but they say every 4 or 3 feet away from you, or not even 3 feet, like inches away from you, there's a spider lingering somewhere. You know, potentially could be your death. So that right there in itself tells you that, hey man, no matter where I look or turn, there's something above me that could be harmful to me. And even at that, you got spiritual things like Esau. He thinks he got these silent weapons for quiet wars. Well, guess what? Yahweh Shai got the silent weapons for quiet wars too. He's sending his plagues. You don't see when the plagues come. You can't stop a plague from coming. It's spiritual. So guess what? The Most High reverses it on you. It sends them silent weapons for quiet wars on you, on your beloved place called Egypt. Because all those viruses, the Ebola, it comes from Africa, which is another place where it's called Egypt. All right? Even though it's a great landmass, but that whole place is wicked, man. That whole place is desolated, scene full of desolation. And they have tripped out kinds of viruses and bugs over there, man, that can afflict you and potentially kill you.
Got look for that one where it said, "We're not out the plagues until the elect be sealed up."
That's in
it's Revelations. And I know there's one, but that was the elect.
But the plagues are going to be put out. But to that point, the plagues are not going to touch. It's not going to touch the elect. The main plague that you people fail to realize is those ICBM missiles, thermonuclear destruction. Okay, that's the main plague that has to be waited. That has to be waited to be released until the elect are sealed up. Okay. Go ahead and get Deuteronomy 28. Start at verse 6. Finish it with 60. Okay. Or just read down. Start at 58. 60.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt.
Right. Moreover, that's a continuance. All right. Further instruction, further warning that he's going to bring the what?
The diseases of Egypt.
The diseases of Egypt upon you. Now, America has the first case of Ebola, man. And that comes from Africa, which Egypt is of the northern western hemisphere, the northern western part of Africa, where Egypt is located. And Egypt, which is a Hebrew word, transliteration, an English word from the Hebrew is house of bondage. It means house of bondage. So that's where the plagues, all 10 different plagues that went and destroyed Egypt by the hand of the Most High. Okay, so that disease had probably been over there forever, you know. So now it's coming over here to that place spiritually called Egypt and Sodom.
It says, moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of.
Of that thou which is afraid of. And you people, y'all are afraid of that. Now, I found out that man, Thomas Duncan, that's admitted in the hospital over there in Dallas, Texas, with the confirmed virus, Ebola, now he's in critical condition, has a son attending the college here in San Angelo. Y'all people, y'all don't even know what's going on, man. It's all spiritual, okay? Now they got what, 50 people being monitored because that's who he went around. That's here in Texas, man. That easy, the Most High can make something happen. And that reason I told the brother, the Most High can make something pop off to where that quick it can pop off, where Esau has to call martial law or implement martial law, because they have all the authority to implement martial law under a not a false flag warning, but they can set up a false flag terrorist to where they can implement martial law. But not only that, even if there's it's biological, an epidemic occurs here in America, they can implement martial law. Okay? So the Most High can make it happen anytime at a drop of a dime, man. And you're like, what just happened? Everything you remember back then will fucking pass your brain, and you'll start like, what? It's a whole new thing. You lost all your senses. Y'all don't know how serious this thing is, because now y'all gonna be afraid. Because Egypt, remember the example of Egypt. What they did to Israel, these people on the side, they afflicted them, and the Most High heard their cry, and he went and rescued them and delivered them out of Egypt and destroyed Egypt with the sword destruction to where it could never bring itself out of that, man. It can never bring, Africa is still destroyed. Them Hamites are destroyed. The son of Canaan, he's done. He will never rise up again. No matter how he tries, no matter how much warlords he puts out there, these rebels, he won't be able to come up. His time is done. The Most High destroy him.
Right? It says, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law.
Every sickness and every plague that is not written in this book of law. They don't tell you Ebola's in there. Okay? They don't tell you West Nile's in there, malaria. They just tell you that you get sick. So more or less, anything could be your potential destruction. Now they got over there in Europe, when it occurred in the Dark Ages in the time over there in Europe, with the bubonic plague. the Black Death. That killed many thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, man, in that time. And that plague is still dormant. It's under the ground, the earth. You can go on the internet. You go on the internet and research bubonic plague occurrences here in America, and you find out that people are still contracting that virus, that disease, by going up to a dead carcass and the flea jumps on it and bites them, and it transfers that disease into their bloodstream. There's still occurrences of bubonic plague, but guess what? They're gonna all sprout back up to where it's gonna occur, to where it's gonna be an epidemic. Everywhere is gonna be full of sickness, man.
Another disease, influenza.
Well, influenza is still another word for flu. That's where the word flu comes from. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just saying because there was a woman. This actually had happened back when I was in middle school, but she came from Europe, and that disease she had contracted it, and she came and it brought it to America. Same thing, just like the brother's saying. I was just thinking about like when the brothers like that plague. It's not like the movies, man, where eventually the plague just dies out, man. These plagues were created by a higher power, so they don't just fly at you and it hits you and you may contract it, and then you may get better or get a shot, and then it's gone, and that plague itself is gone. Like you said, it's dormant, or it just may not hitting you as hard.
It's laying to where the Most High is gonna release it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the way the Most High, He has it set up. He's gonna have someone come from Africa like He did. Now it's over here in the United States and Texas, of all places, man. We got brothers in Texas. I don't know how many camps you got in the state of Texas, but you got the brothers in Dallas, you got the brothers in Austin now that branched off from, they're still part of the same GMS, branched off from Man Up Jacob in Austin now, and then we got us out here in San Angelo, Texas, Central West Texas at that. And that man's son goes to school here at ASU, Angelo State University. I haven't got his name yet. I'm still I'm still looking into it. But I caught word that his son, that man's son, attends the college here at San Angelo.
It took one person for that disease to go.
Yeah, and now 50 people are being monitored.
Deuteronomy 28 and 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed, and you shall be left few in number. Whereas you were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And you shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it.
All right, so now the Most High he's rejoicing killing off you wicked 2/3. Because you refuse to what? Obey His voice.
Because thou wouldst not obey the voice of the Lord thy God.
Yeah. Get that one in Proverbs 1 where it says that when he stretched out his hand, disregarded. This is a serious thing, man. This is all part of prophecy, and it's coming to pass. Like the brother made a comment earlier, this place is engulfed with sickness, man. This has always been the life being ruled under the heathen. It's sickness, darkness, and death. There ain't nothing been peace or light, happiness here. No matter what king ruled. The only time we ever experienced peace was in the time of King Solomon for 40 years.
This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 24. Because I have called and you refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But you have set at naught all my counsel and with none of my reproof.
Right, none of you people are turning from your ways, man. You ain't even making an ounce of effort. Y'all's faith is not even as big as a grain of a mustard seed. Okay, y'all's faith is in vain. I don't care what your mom or grandma tells you or your church pastor tells you. Your church pastor